thank you to Halfbrick for providing a review copy for Fruit Ninja VR 2. Heyo, welcome back to MadBrax's VR reviews. Today, we're reviewing Halfbrick's newly released Fruit Ninja VR 2. FNVR 2 is the long-awaited sequel to the original 2016 title. And now that it's here, we are finally able to return to the sweet world of fruit-flavored swordsmanship once again. But before we do, we need to point this out. The game is still in early access. This means that certain major features may not be available at the moment, and new content will still be added. While I still will judge it the same, I will return to the game once it is fully released for a second review. So, with that out of the way, is Fruit Ninja VR 2 sweet and juicy, or is this the bad apple of the bunch? Find that out on my review of Fruit Ninja VR 2. Performance in FNVR 2 was buttery smooth. I played via a Quest 2 with virtual desktop and had no frame drops or stutter at all, which for my hardware is rare. And that's good news, as there is no graphics options to tweak here at all. With the general look of the game, it's understandable, but even a few options to change, like the resolution scale, would have been nice. Overall, the performance of the game was great for me, so I don't see any VR-capable rig struggling with this one. Next up, we have visuals. In my review of the demo, I commented that the visual of the game, while simple and charming, were a noticeable downgrade from the original. And now that the early access release is here, my opinion hasn't really changed. Don't take that the wrong way, however. The game looks very clean and the art style makes sense for lower-end hardware they are targeting releases on, like the MetaQuest 2 and PlayStation VR. On top of this, the actual environments in the game, while nothing mind-blowing, look very nice and have a really nice charm to them. Just being in them immersed in the lovely atmosphere really makes up for the overall downgrade from the first. Still, I would have liked to see the ability to increase the shadow quality at the very least, as they're quite blurry. All of the models here look very clean, especially the blades and bows. UI-wise, everything is navigated through intuitive areas in the world, or through a satisfying and fun-to-use scroll on your hip. I really like the implementation of it, and its overall polish of its look and feel. I'm gonna give visuals a 4 out of 5. They may not be the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen in VR, and may be an overall downgrade from the first, but the overall charm and atmosphere on display make up for what it's lacking, while using an art style that will be easy to convert for lower-end hardware. But of course, not everything's about visuals. Fruit slicing gameplay is the core of the Fruit Ninja experience, so if you don't get that right, the whole experience is ruined. So, did Halfbrick nail it for the early access release? Well, sort of. For the most part, what is here right now feels good, but we are sorely lacking a few key features that make Fruit Ninja feel like Fruit Ninja. And one choice that was made truly left me scratching my head. Let's start with the good parts. Firstly, slicing the fruits is super fun, as always with Fruit Ninja, and extremely satisfying every time. The blades felt great to swing, and felt like they were making impact to the fruit. The trophy system gave me an incentive to try to get better at utilizing the two weapon types, and gives a proper reward other than just a few more currency to spend at the shops. The bows really felt fun to use and are a great addition to the Fruit Ninja formula, and the levels were just challenging enough to make me want to get to the max rank, without being too difficult for casuals. But next to the pristine and juicy sections of this apple, there's some bruises. To start, my biggest gripe with it is that the classic mode is completely absent. Right now, all you get is 43 short challenge levels that took me around 3 hours total to complete without maxing them out or unlocking every blade and bow. And on top of this, 25 of those levels are bow ones. It's a strange choice for them to focus on the bow section of the game when Fruit Ninja has always been about slicing stuff with a blade. This is further enforced by the fact that the game forces you to complete 10 bow levels before even allowing you to play any of the blade levels. Lacking the classic mode gives me no reason to want to come back once I finish maxing out my scores and unlocking the rest of the weapons right now. The developers say they plan on focusing on the multiplayer mode, which is currently not available, moving into 2022. However, I feel they should first focus on bringing the classic mode back before anything else, as it's always been the most fun part of the experience. My next gripe with the game is the rhythm levels. They were a great idea, taking the gameplay of Beat Saber and putting a fruity spin on it, but the execution ends up falling flat on its face. The first 2 levels of it are okay, but when they move to the medium and hard difficulty, the mapping for them becomes really bad. There's no flow to it and it just ends up feeling uncomfortable to try and hit the notes. On top of this, it's hard to see the upcoming fruit, at times to see even what you're supposed to hit in the first place. Every time one of these levels came up, I just ended up wishing it was one of the more traditional ones. Alright, let's talk about the unlocks. Outside of the trophies, you can also buy and unlock new blades. That's fine, but there's only 4 blades and 4 bows to unlock right now. That's way too small, and we can only hope that they add more once the full release is here. Overall, the gameplay feels good for what's here right now, but there's a lot of more potential for what they can do with it than what they're doing with it right now. The lack of the classic mode really hurts the experience and doesn't make me want to come back. At least, not right now. I'm gonna give gameplay a 3 out of 5. There's some good bones here, but they just haven't reached what they can do with it yet. Finally, let's talk about audio. First, I'm gonna play some clips focused on the game's audio, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. Now that you've heard that, what do you think? Be sure to give your thoughts on it in the comments. For me, I really enjoy the audio here. The sounds of the fruit being sliced are super satisfying, the ambience of the areas you play in is superb, and truly brings you in the mood of the game, and everything just sounds great. On top of this, the sound the combos make you feel really good and just make you want to get more. I'm gonna give audio a 5 out of 5. It's super impactful, can make you feel relaxed, and will help you enter that zen state that Fruit Ninja excels at. And with all that said, it's time for the final score. Fruit Ninja VR2 is pretty fun and has some great atmosphere, but some of the key features that make Fruit Ninja so replayable just aren't there right now. The developers say that they're going to be providing regular insight into the development of the title throughout early access and will be updating it regularly with new content. However, we will have to wait and see if they keep that promise. I'm going to give Fruit Ninja VR2's early access version a 3.6 out of 5. I can definitely recommend picking it up right now if you want a few hours of fruit slicing fun, but if you're looking for something more replayable, I'd recommend waiting until more updates are released. Thanks for watching the review. If you want more content like this, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. It really helps out the channel. Stay tuned for my review of After the Fall and Captain Toonhead vs. the Punks from Outer Space. Have a great night. MadBrax out.